just out for a little lunchtime wander to get some fresh air, as always. Just thought I'd show you some of these things that I've just come across, and these are a really cool mushroom that appears, well, they're kind of around all year really, but more predominantly you'll notice them in winter time when there's not much else about, although there is still quite a lot of mushrooms around. It's been a very strange season this year, 2022. It's now November, so there's the winter species coming up, but there's still people out there finding a lot of the really good edible autumn species as well, so it's been a bit of a weird one. But anyway, I'm going to show you these now. These are called jelly ears or wood ears, and they're really unusual. So I'm just going to flip the camera around and I'll show you what they're all about. These are your jelly ears, and they grow predominantly on elder or dead, not usually dead, elder branches or logs or whatever, and these ones are particularly big, but you can see why they're called jelly ears, because they look like fucking ear holes, don't they? And they're a bit wibbly. These are great fun. Kids love these ones as well because they're wibbly wobbly. And yeah, jelly ears or wood ears, really cool fungi, and really good to eat as well. They're edible, and they're used a lot in Asian cuisine, stir fries, soups, that sort of thing. If you've ever had a Chinese takeaway, the chances are these little guys have probably found their way into one of your dishes and you haven't even realised it. But yeah, have to be careful when you're cooking them though, because they do have a tendency to explode. I've just walking along this little track here, just minding my own business, and I've just noticed this little fella down here. You see this little yellow guy? Where is he? Just getting down there so you can see it. There we go. Look at that. How cool is that? I believe, I'm not an expert obviously, but I believe that that is a yellow field cap. And I don't think I've ever seen one of those here before. So yeah, another one to add to the list of local finds. Nice one. I often come over here to my local golf course because it's only 5 minutes from my house, and it has a really good selection of fungi quite a lot of the time. I found all sorts over here. I've just stumbled across this big patch of like large agaricus here. You can see these. Now I've got a feeling that these are probably yellow stainers, because there seems to be an awful lot of those around here, unfortunately. But what we can do, I don't know if that's showing it or not, but I'll try and scratch the cap and see if it turns yellow. It has a little bit there, isn't it? Yes, it's started to turn. I'm going to pick it out. You can see where it's gone quite yellow at the end now. It's going to have a little sniff of it as well. Yeah, it's definitely a yellow stainer. It smells like, well, it just doesn't smell very nice. It smells, phenol is the word that's bandied around for those mostly, because the only other thing, when they get to that sort of size, they can be mistaken for Agaricus arvensis, which is the horse mushroom, and that has quite a noticeable aniseed smell, and it's definitely not that. So, and combine that with the yellowing on damaging the cap there, that's pretty much a given, I'd say, that there's yellow stainers. And I'm just going to flip the camera around and show you how many there are here. So just stepping off the path there, there's a few there, and down here as well. Just going to creep underneath this bit of tree, and yeah, they kind of grow in this big arse ring. Yeah, and some of them look absolutely gorgeous, but you can't eat them, and it's such a crying shame that they're so abundant here. I do find other agaricus here as well, like the really good edible ones. I found Agaricus augustus, the prince. That's like the top of the list when it comes to agarics, or agaricus, I should say. That grows here. I've actually got a wood mushroom in my bag there. You can see the big one there. So you get those. You also get field mushrooms. I've had horse mushrooms here before as well. So you get all manner of agarics here, but mostly it's these fucking yellow stainers, and they piss me right off because, yeah, always in good nick and completely fucking not edible. Bloody things. Anyway, such is life. A little bit further down the same path, you just about make these out, and these are one of the shaggy parasol mushrooms. Could be any one of a handful of different ones that are all superficially similar, but you know, there are slight differences. But just to show the difference between that, see the stem there, it's fairly smooth, and your standard parasol, the proper one, has like a snake skin pattern on it, and that's the quickest way to identify between the two. And actually, I've actually got a parasol in my bag here, so if I can just lay that down for a second, I'll just show you. You can see through the bag, it's got that kind of snake skin pattern on it, and that's your obvious difference there. So just a little word to the wise. Yeah, shaggies are still edible, I think, but I tend to leave them alone, really, just because apparently they don't, like, the possibility that they don't mix too well with alcohol and bits and bobs like that. So there you go. So just making my way out of the golf course now. Martha's golf course. Coming over there'll be a mixture of stuff. I used to come in all the time, but now I just come stopping around looking for fungi. How times change. But yeah, little tip: if you live near a golf course and it's got any parts of it that are, you know, have sort of public right of way, any little paths running around it, things like that, it's always worth jumping over there and having a look around, because you never know what you're going to find. I mean, there's a few places here locally that, you know, outdoorsy places, woods, that sort of thing. But actually, this golf course is probably the place that has yielded the most variety. Loads of class edibles from over here, and one or two really uncommon or rare species as well, which I found here. There was one which I've actually seen today, and I forgot to put it on the video, but I'll just see if I can add it on as a photo. But there's one called the wrinkled peach, Rhodotus palmatus, if that's the correct pronunciation. But yeah, really uncommon, but I found it last year and it's returned to the same spot, so that's nice. Yeah, so check your local golf courses out, because you just never know. But just obviously avoid golfers, because they love waggling their balls around, don't they? You don't want to get injured by golfers' balls, really. And they get shouty as well. They're a funny mob, the golfers. They get very upset if you meander under their ground. Very territorial, I find. But anyway, you stick to the walkways and the little woodland paths, then you'll be golden, and you might find some great animals as well. So here we go, signing out. Just a little side note about the old jelly ears, or wood ears, or whatever you like to call them. Now I've got them here. I've given them Lovely, aren't they? Yeah, imagine actually wanting to eat those. Wibbly wobbly, slimy little suckers that they are. But they're good. They're good. And I just wanted a little side note about these because I forgot to mention it while I was picking them in at the golf course earlier. I said that you can cook them. This is a bit of colouring advice, if anything. So yeah, you can slice them up and stuff and stir fry them and put them in, and they go really well in soups and things like that as well. And this time of year, it's nothing like a nice hot soup after a chilly day out in the wild. So that's all good. But another thing that people do with these, they so these have a huge water content, which is why they're like jelly. But they dry out really easily. So you can just basically what I've got these ones just on a plate with an old sort of towel on there, and I'll just leave them like that at room temperature, and they will dry out pretty well. And when you rehydrate them, they pretty much go back to exactly as they were before. Like they really do rehydrate well in this, like into this jelly consistency. But what people have done in the past, and people still do, they rehydrate them in other stuff, not just water. So you could potentially rehydrate them in orange juice. And what people do, you rehydrate them in orange juice, and then you use these as a filling for homemade Jaffa cakes. I mean, I really want to try it. I've never actually done it, but I really want to give it a go because I reckon it'd be really. Apparently, it's really good. And people do it with orange liqueur and stuff as well. So you get make some like adult sort of boozy Jaffa cakes and things like that as well. So it's just something else that I thought you should know because I forgot to mention it. But yeah, so you'll see plenty of these around this time of year, all the way through from sort of now all the way through till January, February, colder months. So for whatever reason, you can find them all year, like I said, but yeah, you'll find them mostly during the colder months. But why don't you just grab a few and give them a go? I mean, I know they're weird looking. they do look like ears. I mean, I'm like, it's like Universal Soldier or something here, isn't it? Like you can cut your ears off and hang them around my necklace or something. But yeah, they are very, very odd looking, but get past it. Get past it. I mean, if you like eating things like blue cheese and stuff, which smells like a dead badger's arsehole, and you'll still put that in your mouth, I think you could probably manage to give these a go as well. So anyway, yeah, keep your eye out for these jelly ears. Yeah, great little fucking fungus, aren't they?